news.
Well, every leader of the national movement in the old British Empire was called a terrorist. I met many of them. I met Gandhi, he was in prison. I met Nehru, he was in prison. I met Makarios, he was in prison. Chedi Jagan was in prison. Nkrumah was in prison.
Do you see Benn Laden as part of that? Essentially part of that?
They all end up having tea with the Queen
Yep.
as a head of state. And I mean, let's be quite honest about it. At the time of Suez, when the Americans defeated Britain, it was the United States that prevented us winning in Egypt. We were told Nasser was a terrorist. In Northern Ireland, you ended it, and with full American support, thank God for Clinton, by talks, and now the arms are being handed in. Mrs. Thatcher called Mandela a terrorist. I remember speaking from in Trafalgar Square. I was speaking today. Next time I met him, he had a Nobel Peace Prize, was President of South Africa.
Are you saying,
you've got to have a historical perspective if you're going to understand?
Given that you have to have a historical perspective, is your historical perspective that we might find Osama bin Laden, as it were, taking tea in Downing Street?
I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is the Americans. What I'm saying is this, Jonathan. The Americans were part of a war in Vietnam that killed 3 million people. The Americans made war on the Khomeini in Iran using Saddam and lost. The Americans bombed Saddam. 10 years later, he's stronger. You've got to understand the roots of this. And the truth is, you've got to stop bombing Iraq, stop the sanctions, create a Palestinian state, and the Americans will have to leave Saudi Arabia. And that's the best chance of getting a peaceful world. Bombing people makes it worse. That's the argument.
I want to